Long before modern Nigeria existed, there was a powerful Hausa kingdom called Zazzau. It was a land of brave warriors, thriving marketers, skilled craftsmen, and proud tradition. Within its royal palace, a baby girl was born. Her name was Amina. No one could have imagined that this young princess would one day become one of the African greatest warrior queen. Her grandmother looked into her eyes and said, "True strength is not measured by power, but by wisdom to protect your people." Unlike other royal children, Amina was fascinated by kingdom soldiers. Instead of spending her days surrounded by luxury, she watched warriors train with horses, sword, bows, and spear. Every sunrise, while others still slept, she secretly practiced with wooden weapons, dreaming of protecting her people one day. Her determination soon caught the attention of the kingdom's greatest general. Recognizing her courage, he began teaching her the skills of leadership, horseback riding, and combat. Day after day, years after years, Amina learned to ride horses, throw spear, and command warriors. With every lesson, she grew stronger. During a royal military exercise, Amina surprised everyone by defending older trainees in courage, speed, and intelligence. She hit the target in every attempt. Soon, she began training alongside the soldiers, and most of the time, the soldiers surrendered to her intensity. They all clapped and marveled at what kind of young girl she was. Before long, neighboring kingdoms began disturbing the peace of Zazzau. A messenger was sent to deliver a warning to the king, and the warriors were summoned to develop strategic plan before the enemy could strike. Standing upon the city walls, Amina looked towards the distance and made a silent promise. She would defend Zazzau, her kingdom, no matter the cost. Because of Amina's outstanding performance, the king granted her request to go out and fight the enemies of the kingdom. The elders stood in amazement, wondering why the king would make such a bold decision. Every day was filled with rigorous training, and day after day, she continued to improve, becoming the very best at what she did. The soldiers began to show Amina the utmost respect and started seeing her as the captain of their troop. They bowed their heads before the young warrior, but Amina insisted there was no need for such gesture. Soon, a second messenger arrived at full speed on horseback, carrying a written scroll. It reported that raiders had already begun attacking a kingdom near Zazzau. The king took the letter and his face immediately filled with concern. Amina and the warriors gathered around a map, carefully planning how to launch their attack with precision. She suggested that the villagers would be rescued first before engaging the raiders in battle. Amina pointed out the best route to launch the attack. The warriors were astonished by her insight and courage, as though she had fought in countless battles before. The king trusted Amina's dedication. He handed her a captain's staff and appointed her commander of the thousands of soldiers. The soldiers were amazed by the king's decision, especially considering how young she was. At sunrise, Amina and her troops departed from Zazzau. This would become one of the greatest tests of her life as a young commander, leading thousands of soldiers into battle. As Amina and her cavalry approached the Podas, smoke darkened the morning sun. Homes burned, threatened family fled, and armed raiders were already pounding the village. Though our warriors were eager to charge, Amina raised her hands. "Not yet," she said. "Victory belongs to those who think before they strike." She divided her cavalry into 3 groups. One would rescue the villagers, another would block the raiders' escape. Amina would lead the final charge herself. The first raiders reached the village, guiding threatened family to safety before the battle even began. Believing they had won, the raiders tried to escape, but Amina's second cavalry unit had already sealed every path. Then Amina lowered her spear and gave the command, "Ride." The battle was fierce, but Amina fought with courage, discipline, and remarkable skill, protecting both her soldiers and her people. Realizing they had been outmaneuvered, the raiders abandoned their stolen goods and fled into the wilderness. When Amina returned to Zazzau, the people lined on the streets. They cheered not only for a princess, but for a true defender of the kingdom. That victory was only the beginning. Across the land, people whispered her name with admiration. Princess Amina had taken her first step towards becoming the greatest warrior Queen Zazzau would ever know. Years passed, and the kingdom of Zazzau mourned the passing of King Nikatu. The royal drums fell silent, and the people wondered who would lead them through uncertain times. Leadership passed to Queen Bakau, Amina's mother. Wise and respected, she ruled with justice while preparing her daughter for even greater responsibilities. Under Queen Bakau's rule, Amina grew into one of the most powerful women in the kingdom of Zazzau. She was admired and respected by many, and her warrior attire reflected her strength and authority. Seeing Amina's courage and discipline, Queen Bakau appointed her commander of Zazzau cavalry. Many were surprised, but the soldiers welcomed the decision. Commander Amina transformed the army through relentless training. Every warrior learned speed, discipline, teamwork, and strategy. Under Queen Bakau's rule, trade flourished. Merchants arrived from distant land, bringing clothes, leather, salt, horse, and knowledge to Zazzau, but prosperity attracted danger. Powerful neighboring kingdoms and raiders sought control of the busy trade routes that passed through Zazzau. Every day she marched alongside her soldiers, ensuring peace and stability throughout the kingdom. Commander Amina summoned her soldiers. With maps spread across the tables, she and her commanders carefully studied the mountains, fortresses, and surrounding routes, refining their strategy before making their final preparation. Amina proposed strengthening borders defenses and protecting the kingdom's trade route. Before danger arrived, instead of waiting for enemies to attack, Queen Bakau smiled proudly. She trusted her daughter's judgment and gave her command over the kingdom's next great expedition. As the morning sun rose above Zazzau, Commander Amina led thousands of cavalry through the city gate. Ahead laid a journey that would forever change the history of the West Africa. Commander Amina led her cavalry across the vast savannah. With discipline, courage, and careful planning, the army protected trade routes and strengthened the kingdom's influence. The battle began and Amina's soldiers stood strong against the raiders. The enemy was decisively defeated and much of their stolen goods was recovered. Seeing how disciplined and powerful Commander Amina and her army were, the raiders fled on foot, abandoning their horses as they searched desperately for escape routes. Commander Amina raised her hand and ordered her soldiers to stop the pursuit, choosing wisdom over unnecessary bloodshed. Amina believed that the greatest victory was one that protected lives. Her wisdom and planning earned the respect of aliens and the caution of rivals. Tradition tells us that strong defense walls were built around important settlements during her campaign. Even today, many remember them as Amina's wall, symbols of protection and leadership. Peace returned to the land. Markets flourished, caravans traveled safely, and the people of Zazzau looked towards the future with confidence. To her people, Amina was more than a warrior. She was a protector, a leader, and a symbol of courage in difficult times. Travelers carried stories of Amina across distant land. Her name became known whenever merchants and explorers gathered. But her greatest achievement was not measured by battles alone. She inspired generations to believe that courage, wisdom, and determination could shape history. Centuries has passed, yet Queen Amina remained one of the most celebrated figures in African history. Her story continues to inspire people across Nigeria and beyond. A true leader is remembered not because people feared them, but because generations were strengthened by their example. And so the story of Queen Amina of Zazzau lives on, a princess who became a commander who became a queen, and a queen whose courage echoes through history. May her legacy remind us that true greatness is built through wisdom, service, and unwavering determination.